What's up guys, and welcome to the Drift Games YouTube channel once again. Bit of a different video today because this is just me getting something off my chest. It's not a fancy video, it's not going to have loads of cool effects and action, but it's something that's very close to my heart because I want to talk about the current state of the Irish car scene. Now this is going to seem like a bit of a rant, and maybe it is a bit of a rant, but it's also got a very important point to it because we have an opportunity at the moment, maybe an idea to do something very big and very dramatic, but I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. So at the moment, our Irish car scene is, I would say, tough because we live in a country that everything is far too expensive for the car community. Insurance, the tax, the VRT, everything else. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video because that's a given. That's pretty much what we have to deal with. We can complain about it all day, but I don't think that's going to change dramatically. But what I do think is happening at the moment is we're kind of in a very boring state of car culture in Ireland. We have fantastic cars, we have hugely passionate people about cars, but it seems like every year it's just kind of going in a loop. We have great shows, we have great track days, but outside of that, and outside of drifting, it's a bit unorganized and a bit dull. We have a lot of car meets, but they're generally held in car parks and the guards run everybody. It's kind of, everyone turns up in whatever they want. It's unorganized, chaos to a certain extent, and it doesn't look good for people who are really into cars to go to some of these meets, and also from everyone looking in from outside of Ireland, everything looks a bit bland. So I kind of had an idea of maybe doing something a little bit different. So obviously, as you guys know, everything that I do, I like to do it to 100%, 110%, 200%. I don't like doing stuff just for the sake of doing it. I don't do it for popularity. I don't do it for fame. I do it because I like to challenge myself and also do something that is interesting or exciting. And if it's not exciting, I'm not that interested in it. Back in the day when we did the Irish Drift Championship, you guys will know we did the world's first indoor event. We did drifting on the docks. We did crazy events where FD drivers came from all over the world. We built brand new layouts in Mondello Park. We did everything we could do to make it exciting, because if it's exciting to us, it's exciting to everybody else. But there hasn't been that much exciting things going on in Irish car culture in quite some time. We have meets and track days and all that stuff, but it's kind of like the same thing. So we sat down and had a conversation, or more so I had an idea that maybe what we're missing in Ireland is a hub, somewhere that the car community can call home. Now that brings with it its own challenges. So do we build a facility for the Irish car community? Do we build something that's a mix between the Hoonigan Tire Slayer studio and Adam LZ's compound and Driftland? Do we build something that has the ability to be a hub for everybody who's a true enthusiast of cars in Ireland, somewhere they can show off their car, meet like-minded people, hang out inside rather than being out in the rain and cold all the time, have a track there so people can actually test their cars in a more kind of private setting, that they can go somewhere that they're not in fear of their car getting destroyed or the guards turning up and telling them not to do what they're doing. Somewhere that true car enthusiasts can come and do whatever they want, can play video games, can do simulator stuff, can have cars and coffee, can chill out and watch Formula One, can chill out and watch drift events. Somewhere that brings everybody together. Now that's a massive undertaking, and it sounds like a pie in the sky idea because you're going to have to buy land, you're going to have to build stuff, you're going to have to get planning, it's going to cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of euro. But we've always been the type of people to take those kind of risks. We've always been the people that wanted to do something for the car community to make it exciting, and that would be super exciting to not only us but I think to everybody else. But we're not going to do it just for fun, because this is real life. It's not just YouTube, and it would cost us hundreds of thousands of euro. It would take incredible amount of man hours to build. It would be a commitment for 5 to 10 years. It's a huge risk, but at the moment I think there's a possibility that we could do it. We have the resources, we have the people in Drift Games that can make it happen. We have the investors that would be willing to do it. But what we don't have at the moment is a big enough brand to pull it off. So Drift Games, as you guys know, it's us having fun with cars, competing in drifting, traveling the world, showcasing different elements of car culture from all over the world. And we're doing really well at that, and we love that, and we're having an amazing time, and we thank everybody that supported us on that journey. But we want to do bigger things. We want to grow. It's not just okay for us to just keep doing the same thing every year. And in 2022, yes, we can build project cars. Yes, we can travel. Yes, we can compete. But what if we could do something that no one's ever done before in Europe? What if we could build something that no one has ever built in Europe? And what if we could do it in Ireland to showcase Irish car culture to the rest of the world in the best way possible? the best cars, the best personalities, revealing cars. Bring that community together in a very cool way. Build a facility that handles all of that. Now, that's a massive commitment and it might sound like an impossibility, but I think the only thing standing in the way of us actually pulling the trigger and doing it is whether or not Drift Games can become a big enough entity to support that level of investment. At the moment, I think it can't. And the simple reason is this: we have a Drift Games YouTube channel. We make lots of videos. We put a lot of our soul and our passion into them. But unfortunately, because we're in Ireland, it's a difficult game because, number one, our resources are low here. The weather is generally pretty bad for shooting. Also, we've limited facilities, as we said, to go and shoot things or do cool car content. I mean, we can't rent out Mondello Park every day to do car content because that's a business and it's busy and we don't bring enough finances for them to do that. On another side of things, we're struggling because the algorithm kind of pushes us back because we're in Ireland. We noticed this when we went to do our US tour. Our videos did much better when we released them in the States than when we released them in Ireland. So YouTube is obviously pushing down on Irish channels. Also, our return on ad revenue from videos in Ireland is about 10% of somewhere like the UK or America, because there's not as many companies in Ireland advertising through YouTube. So our YouTube revenue from an Irish channel is very, very low. And on top of that, I also think that we need a little bit of help from the Irish car community. From our content, what pushes our content out there is liking, sharing, commenting, and making those videos get good views. And that's not just for our benefit, but what we want to do in a grander scale of things, we need more following, we need more people. Because if we have more interaction, we get more views. If we have more views, we get more sponsors. If we have more sponsors, we have more budget. More budget means that we can reinvest it into something like this idea. And that's pretty much what this video is all about, is that we can go and create Drift Games content in 2022 that is entertaining. We can create cars and competitive drift teams that are really good fun for us. But we'd also like to share all of that with the rest of the Irish car community to give them something to be excited about, that they can have ownership of, that they can show off to the rest of the world and highlight the best of this car community. And the only way we're really going to be able to do that, rather than just having the same shows, the same track days and the same meets, is to build a hub, to build a community center. And I almost think of it like a sanctuary or a reserve, because the petrol-powered car or the diesel-powered car or modified car is hated on by our government, it's hated on by our insurance companies, it's hated on by everybody. They want to get rid of it in the next 5 years. And unless we build somewhere that it's a home, that's private property, that we can go there and do what we want there and it sort of celebrate what we love about car culture, eventually we're going to get to a point where the meets are all going to be shut down because of, to a certain extent, they're not on private property. It's someone else's property that you're there. You can get moved on. You've no right to be there. Track days, not everyone has a track car. Not everyone has a drift car that's specific for a track day. So where do they go? They go to rallies, they drive around, and generally wherever they go, they're not wanted. And maybe that's part of the appeal. Maybe some people like the illegality part of it, but it's going to eventually be stomped on enough that it doesn't exist anymore. So maybe we're looking at this from a critical point of view of saying, unless we do something now, and it's got to be something big, we will not save the car culture in the next 4 or 5 years. Yes, it might go in a loop for 2 or 3 years, but after that, where do we go from there? Now, I have the option of leaving Ireland and going doing this in another country, which would be much easier and much easier to financially to make work. But Ireland's my home. It's where I grew up. I've been in the car scene in Ireland for 17, 18 years. I've been modifying cars for 18 years. It's all I care about. It's all I do. And I want to protect that. But I can't protect it on my own because that would make no sense. And I would be putting myself in a massively risky position of losing my business, my house, everything for the sake of the Irish car community. So I think this video is very much just to say, I can't specifically say what we plan to do because obviously it's in early stages. But what I can say is we can do it. I'm probably the only person that would be stupid enough or risky enough to do it. We have the professionalism behind us to make it happen, but we need your help. We need your help to be able to make Drift Games a big enough brand to be able to support it financially. And am I asking for money? No. I don't want any money whatsoever from anybody. If this is my financial investment, if it's my risk, it's my risk alone. But what I do need is the help and the support of everybody in the Irish car community. I need people to get behind our brand. And it doesn't cost anything. I don't need anybody to give me money. I don't need any investment. I don't need any GoFundMes. I don't need any of that. What I just need to know is that there's enough belief and support in Drift Games as a brand to go and do these crazy things, that if we do them, that we aren't going to lose our business and our houses at the end of it. So what I'm asking over this Christmas and New Year's period is, maybe you're not watching all the Drift Games videos, but maybe try and watch a few more, maybe share a few more, maybe like and comment a little bit more, maybe show us that we can have that support, that if we grow this brand, it will do things that no other brand has ever done and no other brand will ever do. Because the majority of the YouTube channels and the majority of the athletes and all this stuff that gets support, it is just for their benefit and your entertainment. We want to switch it, that it's not only for your entertainment, but also your benefit, so that we all benefit together as a community. At the moment, it's an idea, but it's one that I can make happen in the morning. But I'm not sure if I do want to, because I'm not sure. I'm sure everyone will say, yeah, go build it, Dave, go do it. Go on, throw all your money at it, it'll be great. But that's not enough for me to say that the Irish car community will get behind it. I need to see it in front of me, that we're growing, that we're all in this together. So this video is very much about that. It's just this idea that I've had, that I want it to be the greatest motorsport and car culture hub that Europe has ever seen. This is going to cost a fortune to build, and it's a very difficult thing to get built in Ireland, as you guys know. But I do think we can do it. I think we can do it in 2022, not like 3-5 years down the line. But I need your help. And again, if we don't see the support grow massively from the Irish side of things, we can continue to do our car content, continue to do our builds, continue to travel and continue to do what we do and work with amazing sponsors and have amazing fans helping us along the way. But if we get this push now, within a month, I can set this in motion. So I'm going to let you guys stir over that for a little while, have a think about it. We'll see what the reaction to this video is over the next 3 or 4 weeks, and that will very much determine our decision. As I said, this isn't something that just benefits me, it benefits every single person that's into cars in Ireland. So if everybody who's into cars in Ireland gets behind this, then we can make it happen. So thanks for listening. I know this is a little bit of a random video and a little bit of a random rant, but I didn't want to shoot it any other way. I want to just be honest and transparent, as I always am in these videos. And let's see what happens over the next 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll be able to update you more on the next stages of the planning. We've got tons of videos coming out over the Christmas period, from our US trip, from our UAE trip, from all of our project cars, from the bash, from everything. We've got tons of stuff coming out, lots of entertainment for you guys. So we really appreciate you watching those videos, sharing and commenting and liking. And hopefully, as a community, we can come together, do something special in 2022, alongside all of the cool stuff that's already happening from so many cool people doing great events. We just want to go a step above and beyond. So thank you for listening. Hopefully you guys watch the next couple of videos, and remember to subscribe to the channel, like our videos. Interaction is a big thing that we need, and thank you so much for listening.